Tributes. The beginnings. The story of tributes begins when men awoke to the profound realization of self as being and as a being. A state best described in René Descartes' eloquent and adequate statement on this level of consciousness: I think, therefore I am. The raison d'être for tributes lies in the realization that it is the application of the product of the mind and none else that forms the basis of man's description of being. The recognition and acknowledgement of those actions driven by that which is of the mind is the basic infrastructure upon which tribute expresses itself. Telling the story of people who by appearance would be least expected to perform such extraordinary deeds. Deeds which are of significant benefit not only to the self but also to life itself. To that extent, tribute thus sets itself the following objectives. Number 1, the total affirmation of life in context. Number 2, the total affirmation of the quest for excellence. Number 3, the recognition and acknowledgement of extraordinary people expressing their alchemist nature. And number 4, firmly placing disabled discourse on a platform of what the disabled can and do for life, rather than what life can do and for the disabled. This, the inaugural tributes function, is the next inevitable step in our evolution as men. We are committed to ensuring that the next step is as sure-footed as the current. Committed to actions that ensure that man's evolutionary development and thus expression of life is from a solid foundation, you. If you believe that it is not appearance of life, but the depth of life that warrants a tribute, then join us today as we hold hands to pay tribute to women with disabilities in our society. The Tribunes. Versha is one of those economic activists who are successfully making apparent the relationship between an enterprise's positive bottom line and the presence of disabled people within that environment. Never in the business of debunking stereotypes, her life is the story of never judging the proverbial book by its drapery. The Tribunes. Rulani Baloyi. If hindsight were 20/20 vision, insight the gift of intellect, and foresight the gift of the gods, then all the above would be true of Rulani's expression of life. She has sought and mastered the art of being heard, simultaneously exhibiting the characteristics of the art of listening. Never the one to throw caution to the wind, she is a true tribute to life. The Tribunes. Karen Smith. If there were to be a wish list made on who to reach out to for entrepreneurial activism, Karen's name will definitely feature prominently at the top of that list. She has almost single-handedly revolutionized the world of mobile communication to the benefit of the disabled, deliberately and notably so. A quintessential do as I do and not as I say persona, who thusly describes herself, "Look at me." We attempted to add on to that and look no further. The Tribunes. Beatrice Ngcobo. Only a few can claim the title stalwart. Fewer still play the role with as much distinction as Beatrice has done and still does. Her actions in the arena of the integration of the disabled into mainstream society is the stuff of legends. True to what life calls for in every human being, a legendary existence. An apt description of Beatrice, the life and the times. The Tribunes. Zama Bengu. Zama is no stranger to FIRS. Now the first differently abled person at Beitfried Ports Operations, an appointment she tackles with fervent gusto, characterized by a spirit best described as joie de vivre. An expression of living only the likes of Zama in all of us could achieve. The Tribunes. Masingita Masungu. If beauty is in the eye of the beholder, may we present Masingita for your spiritual satisfaction. Her beauty radiates from within, which in any form of expression is contextually correct. Her beauty resides in her spirit, a spirit exemplary of how life intended our spirits to be. She is Miss Confidence, rising above our limitations. The Tribunes. Mandy Latimore. Mandy is the epitome of living life without limits. Similarly, life has responded to her without reservation. A relationship with life that has seen her apply her leadership self at every opportunity. It is therefore no surprise that she lives by the words, "Nature restores the soul." For it is in her soul that we discover the nature of living. The Tribunes. Simphiwe Mkhize. If adventure were to be the definition of the human spirit, then Simphiwe would be the embodiment of the incredible lightness of being. Her physical ability has enabled her to climb life's ladder rung by rung, without fear or favor, and with the gusto that in itself is a tribute to living, a tribute to life. The Tribunes. Henrietta Makopane Zulu. They say when life throws you a lemon, make lemonade. Henrietta's life is the classic example of her alchemist self. A person who epitomizes rising above adversity and in the process becomes a champion for the contextualizing of the living of life. Her being is a tribute to life. The Tribunes. Thuli Matlala. Some say it is better to discover the true nature of your calling than to never have discovered it at all. Thuli's expression of life is quintessential of a discoverer of self-purpose. Thuli is true to who she is, unambiguous about that which is true to the expression of hers and life in general. A few moments spent with her underscores why her being is a tribute to life. The Tribunes. Shirley Berry. Shirley is possibly South Africa's foremost go-to people. Having advised various people, from the office of the president to those most downtrodden, women with disabilities, Shirley is not done yet. She has left the door open for all those on a quest for a fulfilling expression of life and will walk the path with them. The Tribunes. Fatima Meer. Meer, a woman of great personal courage, drive, determination, and enthusiasm, is highly respected by most South Africans. She seems as comfortable in the presence of dignitaries like Nelson Mandela as she is with traditional ulama or the homeless. Meer's personality and work has dominated our political history for over 6 decades, and nowhere is this more evident than within the people and the country she so loved, the beloved South Africa.